This video is for Thursday, April 16th. This is Math 4, and we are on lesson 127. In today's lesson, you're going to need to pay close attention to because it's a little bit confusing to get going. Okay, so I'm going to go slow, but I'm going to need you to pay attention, and I'm going to really need you to think through these problems, okay? A lot of thinking involved. Okay, so they're going to ask us, what is 1/4 of 8? And this is our problem, and all of our problems are going to look like this today. Okay, so what is 1/4 of 8? Okay, so what I have to think about is that I have a total of how many items? I have 8. In this case, they gave you 8 cookies. Okay, so I'm going to draw my 8 cookies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now, they want you to put the cookies, if we were having a fraction, how many sets do we have? We have 4 sets. So I want you to think about the bottom number being sets. So what I need to do is I need to group these cookies up so that I have 4 sets of cookies. Think about it this way. I'm going to be giving 8 cookies away, but I'm giving them away to 4 people. Okay? And so I have 4 bags. Okay, so I need to bag these cookies up equally into 4 bags. So if I put 3 in one and 3 in another, will that work? Did I do that right? No. I want 4 equal bags of cookies. So as you're looking at these cookies, I hope you're thinking, okay, well, if I put 2 in this bag, 2 in this bag, 2 in this bag, 2 in this bag, now I have 4 bags of cookies. So I have 4 sets. So the bottom number is not how many are in each set, but it's how many bags do I have. Okay, excuse me. So I have 4 sets. Now that I've put my cookies in my bags, I want to find out, well, now I want to know what is 1/4. So I shade in my fraction, right? So 1/4, I only want 1 bag of cookies, okay? So I'm only looking at 1 bag. Well, how many cookies are in there? 2, okay? So it equals 2. All right? Now, what if I wanted 2/4 of 8? Well, I've still got them already divided into 4 bags. Well, how many cookies are in 2 bags? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 bags, and I have 4 cookies in those 2 bags. So that equals 4. What if I ask you for 3/4 of 8? Okay, so now I'm saying I have all my 8 cookies in 4 bags. I want to know how many cookies are in 3 bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. Okay, and what about 4/4? What if I want to know what is 4/4 of 8? Well, that's all my cookies. So it's going to be 8 cookies, isn't it? Okay. All right. So what did we actually do here? We did all of this math. So how can I do this without a picture? Okay. If I am looking for 1/4, okay, and I have a 1 on the top, I can take this number and I can divide by this number. So when I see this problem, 1/4 of 8, I can take my whole number and I can divide by the denominator. So 8 divided by 4. Okay, well, think on that. What is 8 divided by 4? Well, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, and that was my answer. Okay. Now, that is my answer for 1/4. Okay? So anytime we have a 1 as the numerator, that's simply our answer. But what if I had 3/4? What if I ask what is 3/4 of 8? Well, my process is to take my whole number again and divide it by the denominator, just like I did here. So I take 8 divided by 4, and I get 2. Okay, but is 2 my answer? No, 2 is just telling me how many are in each bag. Then I have to think, well, how many bags do I have? So I take my answer and I multiply it by the numerator. So I take my answer and I multiply it by the numerator. And that equals 6. And 3/4 of 8 does equal 6. Okay? So, what are my steps? If it's a 1 over a number, I take the whole number and I divide it by the denominator. Then I take my answer and I multiply it by the numerator. Okay? So let's try a few of these together until you get the hang of them, okay? If you need to draw a picture with every single one, I'm okay with that, okay, until you get the hang of it. So it may take you longer, but if you draw a picture and that helps you, then please do that. Okay, so let's look at number 1 together. It says 1/3 of 15 equals, and then it has a blank, and then it has an equal sign. So this is the way they've set it up for you to think through this problem. Without drawing a picture, what is my problem that I need to do? I need to take my whole number, 15, and I need to divide by which number? The denominator, right, 3. Okay, so what is 15 divided by 3? 5. So my answer is 5. Okay, so then off to the side, they have, then if 1/3 of 15 equals 5, then 2/3 of 15 equals what? So what do? I take my answer and I multiply it times the top number. What's 5 times 2? 10. Okay? Cool, huh? Okay, let's do number 2 together. So number 2 says 1/6 of 12 equals blank equals blank. Okay, so what do? What is my math problem here, my division problem? 12 divided by 6. And 12 divided by 6 equals 2. Okay, so if 1/6 of 12 equals 2, then 2/6 of 12 equals what? Well, I take my answer 2 and I multiply it times 2 and I get 4. Okay, so I hope you're finding your way through this. Okay, it's a little confusing. If it helps you to draw a picture, please do that. This is what you're doing on the front and the back. You have a couple of word problems and ordering fractions from greatest to least, and then some addition of fractions, which you can do on a separate piece of paper because you won't have room on number 14. Okay? All right. Well, Marco Polo me if you need help, and just practice these until you get them before you move on to your next one.